This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.
Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep It a C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. If this your first time tuning in, salute to you. Do me a favor, hit the sub button, like button, and the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you agree with something, disagree, want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me a Oouuber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. And make sure you share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you so that we can all talk that talk together. Funniest thing that I've seen recently, Ryan Garcia's results from his B test recently came back, and they were positive. That kid, Ryan Garcia, was using PEDs before he faced Devin Haney. And it's not funny because he cheated and he got caught. What's actually funny is that most boxing fans, myself included, believes that PEDs or no PEDs, he would have beat the brakes off of Devin Haney like that either way. Now look, we all know Ryan Garcia, with or without the PEDs, he has power. And he has power in that left hand. He's trying to land that left hand and put you out. I don't believe the PEDs is the reason why Devin Haney kept walking into that left hand. I'm just keeping it a C note. Bill Haney was recently on live and he replied, and it kind of was tacky. First of all, he used the kids for PR, which I think was a horrible idea. And Bill Haney, here's a memo to you. Boxing fans and Devin Haney fans don't want to hear you saying he's going to get his and all the cool stuff that you're talking. What we want to hear is, if that kid ain't suspended or banned, we got to do it again. We got to show you that the cheating is the reason why Dev kept walking into them left hands. It's only right. Now, Ryan got caught cheating. It shouldn't be a rematch for the belts, but we need a rematch. Devin Haney has to redeem himself. Him fighting Sandar or whoever is a mandatory. None of that is going to be redeeming himself for the way he got beat down by Ryan Garcia. I'm just keeping it a C note. But what's your thoughts on it, people? How do you feel about Ryan Garcia test results coming back showing that he used PEDs? Do you think the PEDs played a factor in Ryan Garcia winning that fight against Devin Haney? Yes, no, keep it a C note. Would you like to see a rematch between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia? Yes, no, keep it a C note. Now, let's talk NBA because they recently released their all NBA teams for the 2023-2024 season. And it's a lot going on with these teams. First of all, I want to know, how do y'all feel about these all NBA teams? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Is it people on the team that shouldn't have been on the team? Do you feel as though anyone got snubbed? Let me know. My first reaction to this team, well, first of all, let me give y'all the teams. All NBA first team, you got Shea, you got Luka, you got the Joker, you had Giannis, Jason Tatum. That's a strong five. I don't find anything wrong with that five. I'm just keeping it a C note. NBA second team, you got Jalen, Brunson, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, and Kawhi Leonard. In the third team, you got Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis. Now, I find a couple things interesting, but my first question would be, what is the criteria to be an All-NBA player? What are we looking at? Are we rewarding guys because they're top 15 in scoring in the NBA? Are we rewarding guys for being on good teams? Are we just rewarding guys because they played the minimum 66 games? Like, what is the criteria to make an All-NBA team? Can somebody let me know? I heard somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, that 99 people voted, and I'm just trying to figure out what's your way of thinking when you're voting on these players. Can somebody help me? Now, again, I don't have anything bad to say about the All-NBA first team. I agree with it. What I do find interesting is that it was 4 international players on that team, 1 American player. So that's interesting to me because I've been saying for a while now that the internationals have taken over this league, and the reason why they've taken over this league is because the NBA has turned into a Euro-type league with the way they ref games and everything. I'm just keeping it a C note. But the interesting thing off of that is, what if Joel Embiid met the mandatory 66 games? Who would have got bumped off of that first team? Would it have been Jason Tatum? Like, can somebody help me understand how they're putting these guys on the team? Like, what is their criteria? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with Bron or Anthony Davis being on the team. I just have a problem with both of those guys making All-NBA team. Same thing with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Like, how are we giving these guys All-NBA team? Are we giving it to him? Did Anthony Davis get All-NBA team because he finally played in 66 games in a season? Like, these guys were a playing team and they got swept. Does LeBron and Anthony Davis make All-NBA team because they won an in-season tournament? Like, somebody help me understand how both of these guys are on the All-NBA team. Somebody help me understand how Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are both All-NBA team. Is it just because they're scoring leaders? That team was horrible all year. And it's a lot of talk about, oh, Bradley Beal wasn't there. First of all, you got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Whether you had Beal or not shouldn't have mattered. Secondly, we already know a blind man conceded Bradley Beal was going to miss most of the season because he's missed most of the season for the last 5 or 6 years. So again, what is the criteria for these guys making the All-NBA team? Tyrese Halliburton should have been All-NBA second team, if anything. Kawhi Leonard is no way Kawhi Leonard made All-NBA second team. He got to have gotten credit just because this is the most games Kawhi Leonard has played in years. So on the strength of that, they rewarded this guy with an All-NBA team. It's sad, and me and Vito recently went back and forth about it. The NBA is still pushing these old guys as their superstars. Now, it's been a lot of hype, and they do this hyping up every year around the playoffs. Who's going to be the next face of the league? Come on, we can't be fooled. We already have the future faces of the NBA, and they're Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. These guys are the face of the NBA. All that trying to make it seem like an American person has the chance to be a face of the NBA is not going to happen. These kids might want to jump out the building like Anthony Edwards and all that, but all in all, a blind man can see who they're pushing. Look who's winning all the MVPs. When the last time an American player won an MVP? And we're being blinded by the who's going to be the next face of the league. Yeah, all right. You got to be kidding me. But some people that got snubbed that should have made all NBA team, like how does Tyrese Maxey not make all NBA team? He averaged 25.9 and 6 assists. They were a playoff team. I'm not the biggest Tyrese Maxey fan. I say he's not a legit number 2 option, but he had a great season. How does he not make all NBA team? Jalen Brown, second option on the best team in the NBA, and he doesn't make an all NBA team. How about some of the young guys? Paolo Banchero, second year in the NBA, had his team in the playoffs for the first time in years, and not by the skin of their teeth. They was playing in a 4-5 game. How is he not on an all-NBA team? Zion Williamson, I believe he played like 70 games this year. We already see what happened. Zion, when he was in the playing game, and when he got hurt, the difference between that New Orleans team, shouldn't he have been considered? How about Cat? That team was the best defensive team in the league. They had the best record for most of the year. They're still there. So again, I ask you guys, how are we picking these guys for all NBA team? That list is jacked up. I'm just keeping it a C note. Now I've been hearing a lot of talk about Jalen Brunson. A lot of people been hating on Jalen Brunson, saying that they only won against the Sixers because Embiid was hurt. I've heard people say Brunson isn't that good. He takes a lot of shots. He's inefficient. But recently it's come up is Jalen Brunson, is he a superstar? And if not, can he become a superstar? So I want to ask y'all that. First of all, is Jalen Brunson a superstar? Yes, no, keep it a C note. Can Jalen Brunson become a superstar? Yes, no, keep it a C note. For me, I say he's not a superstar, but he definitely could be a superstar. It goes back to the debate me and Vito had. These kids are only going to want to be like the players that they can relate to. So Jalen Brunson, smaller guard. We got a lot of smaller kids. So a lot of kids can relate to him. And I think what makes a superstar is the more you're on TV. The more games you get. Jalen Brunson, the Knicks, they had a nice amount of national televised games this year. But my thing is, nobody's going to want to be like Banchero if they don't see him playing enough. Nobody's going to want to be like Zion. Zion and them ain't get a lot of games neither. Yeah, I mean, you got these guys. The NBA is still pushing these older guys. And until it stops, you're only going to have a handful of guys, and most of them are the athletic guys that are getting all the love as who's going to be next. For a while it was Ja Morant, now it's Anthony Edwards. Next season it'll be somebody else. I'm just keeping it a C note. But I want to talk about the Lakers because it's a lot of interesting talk about the Lakers. And I'm kind of baffled because the Lakers is like a upper echelon franchise. So when I'm hearing that they may hire J.J. Redick or they're willing to draft Bronny, I'm kind of confused. Like, how are the Lakers letting LeBron, who will be 40 next year, dictate anything with their team? J.J. Redick is a straight analytics guy. J.J. Redick was never a superstar. He was never a major contributor on his team. All his methods and his way of thinking comes from numbers. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, we got real coaches out here that's been around for a minute on benches that were actually factors in the league, actually have jewelry and everything. Like, when is Sam Cassell going to get consideration for a coaching job? Wasn't a superstar, but he got busy. He got jewelry. Rajon Rondo, like, these guys, point guards are extended coaches on the floor anyway. JJ Redick never did nothing different from Duke to the NBA. He never got better at one skill. He couldn't play defense. All he did was came off of screens, shot, or spot up. And he's an analytics guy. What makes him qualified to be a coach? Who's going to take him serious? We already know that's LeBron pulling the strings. As for Bronny James, like, we got to stop with this propaganda. If Bronny James was Bronny Williams, no relation to LeBron James, we would not be talking about him in the NBA point blank period. The kid is too small. I don't care about no vertical. He's not athletic enough. He's not a sharpshooter. He did nothing in college to prove that he's an NBA player. And drafting him for LeBron, who's going to be around for 2-3 more years, then what? Then you cut the kid? Come on, we got to stop with this propaganda. Yes, he's a child. He's a kid. But we not going to act, oh, he got potential. And no, stop. Because if this was not LeBron James' son, nobody would be talking about him. He wouldn't have been a McDonald's All-Star and All-American or none of that. We got to stop pushing this Bronny James propaganda. I'm just keeping it a C note. It's a lot of talk about the Sixers, offseason, Paul George, maybe even LeBron James, and if all else fails, Zach LaVine. And I'm trying to understand why. Why are you talking about getting these guys who are nobodies in the league but scorers? I don't know if you realize, but these guys is just playing ISO ball. When the last time those type guys won a championship? I know Denver is the defending champions until somebody win this year, but they run a system. I know Steph and them ran a system. The Bucks run a system. All of that, and you need role players. All of that, 2-3 superstars, 2-3 big names on the team, and then a thin bench. That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore, and a blind man can see that. Paul George should not be an option for the 76ers. There's been a lot of talk about Mikal Bridges, and I like Mikal Bridges' game, but I don't know about him. The Sixers need depth. They need somebody that can spot up and shoot, and they need one guard to come off the bench that can give them firepower. You don't need nobody that's going to take away from Maxey, who's still developing. You don't need none of that. Get you a solid backup for when Embiid gets hurt. Get you some more wing players and a little depth. We got to stop trying to stack all these names on teams. It doesn't work anymore. I'm keeping it a C note. But I'm about to wrap this episode up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this your first time tuning in, salute to you. Do me a favor, hit the sub button, like button, and the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. You agree with something, disagree with something, want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me a Uber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. And please share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. As always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I'll holla at y'all.
This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like.